Yo, welcome back everybody to another reaction video. So I'm kind of indifferent about this game. I just uploaded a video reaction to the Jurassic World Dominion. I was about to log off, and just like it's happened previously, YouTube suggested a video for me, and this one is interesting because I don't know if you guys know how much of a Dragon Ball fan I am. Like, I literally got a Goku black shirt. Can y'all see it? I don't know if y'all can see it. I got a Goku black shirt on right now, right? I have the Vegeta, obviously canvas art right there. So I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan. And I'm kind of weirded out by this game because it looks like a Dead by Daylight, like killer survivor type game, but it's themed from Dragon Ball. So I'm already kind of like, Dragon Ball is always about fighting and things like that, not about running and hiding. So I don't know. I don't know. I saw the previous trailer for the announcement of the game, Dragon Ball Breakers, but now we're gonna get a little bit of the in-depth, system overview of what this game is all about. So let's check it out. It's probably gonna be a long video. I'm gonna tell you right off the bat because it's 11 minutes long for this video, and I'm probably gonna pause it in a few parts just so we can kind of break down what we're seeing and what the game's about. Let's get into it.
Dragon Ball The Breakers is an online asymmetrical action game about one of the most vicious antagonists from Dragon Ball against 7 ordinary citizens without superpowers.
So see that right there, how you gonna play a Dragon Ball game without any, I don't know, guys. It's not looking good.
In the game, the vicious antagonist is called a Raider, and the ordinary citizens as survivors. Survivors of this game are from a group of ordinary citizens who do not have superpowers like Goku. Survivors are sucked into a mysterious phenomenon called temporal scene, which is a space where all the times and places are mixed together. What a way.
So I think I read somewhere where this happens during the Dragon Ball Xenoverse saga, or like during that whole time frame. I'm not exactly sure, but I think Dragon Ball Xenoverse plays into this with the whole like time traveling and like alternate dimension and stuff.
Waits them there is the threatful Raider.
Okay, so just to add on to that, you already know that this game is going to have the Raiders, which are the villains. They're only going to have a set few amount of these villains, and I'm sure DLCs are going to be released later on with more Raiders. Kind of scummy, but I get where they would probably be coming from, to add these other villains. But if you're looking into this game, I can already tell you that's probably what's going to happen. They're probably going to release a couple villains, couple Raiders, and then release more throughout it as DLC.
The player can choose to play as either a Raider or a Survivor.
Wait. So what I'm not understanding is, like, if you can only play as survivors with no powers, why is like Goku, Vegeta's, and Piccolo's I guess images down at the bottom? You guys see that? Let's get into it and see what else.
The goal of the Raider is to defeat all survivors, while the goal of the survivors is to escape the battlefield while protecting themselves from a Raider.
Okay, so that's technically like Dead by Daylight. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Dead by Daylight. I don't play it, but I watch a lot of people that do, and you basically gotta complete objectives to be able to leave that area alive. So kind of seems like it's kind of the same there.
Survivors can escape from the battlefield by activating the Super Time Machine.
Figured.
In order to activate the Super Time Machine, they must protect the startup system, which appears in the middle of the map for a certain amount of time. If survivors are able to defend the startup system until the activation is complete, the power of the Super Time Machine will fix the temporal scene and allow.
So I don't want to backtrack, but I saw, one of the survivors hitting the Raider with the rocket launcher. So I guess you're not all like defenseless, I guess. I'm kind of curious about that whole system.
Allow them to escape from the battlefield. In order for the startup system to appear, survivors must first set the power keys. There is one power key hidden in each area, so the survivors must find and place it in a specific location. The more power keys are set, the less time it will take to defend the startup system.
Okay.
If the startup system is destroyed, survivors will not be able to activate the super time machine. But the game will not be over yet.
So I'm assuming there's another mechanic in order to win for the survivors. Okay.
Beacons will appear on the map to call out the emergency time machine, and each player will have to try escaping. If you succeed in escaping, you will receive bonus points in the game results. However, only one time machine can be called out at a time. Survivors can choose between escaping alone or escaping together with their companions.
That fool was literally holding on for dear life on the side of that time machine.
If the raider destroys the time machine even once, survivors will not be able to call out the time machine again. Also,
Did you see how fast he was approaching the time machine and attacking it though? That was nuts. It seems like Raiders might be a little OP. It just looked insane how that cell villain, that Raider, was just attacking the heck out of that time machine. That was weird.
So, if you fail to escape within the time limit, the game is over and the raider wins.
Okay. Here we go.
The raider can win the game by stopping the activation of the super time machine and defeating their survivors before they can escape the temporal scene. If raiders can defeat all survivors, then it becomes a complete victory. Raider doesn't have to necessarily defeat survivors, but the more he defeats, the higher points are earned. Since decreasing the number of survivors will lead to stopping the activation of the super time machine, take action efficiently.
It just looks like the Raider is really fast. Maybe it's just that Cell character, but it just looks really fast. I don't know. That might be a little OP. Just my opinion.
The Raider, with their overwhelming combat power, has a unique feature which allows it to evolve during the battle. For example, one of the Raiders, Cell, starts as a larva at the beginning of the game and evolves by absorbing survivors and NPC civilians. Each time it evolves, its combat power and skills will change, turning it into an even more threatening enemy for the survivors.
That's actually kind of cool. I'm gonna point that out. That's actually kind of cool, especially for Cell. Like if you want to see perfect Cell, it looks like you have to get enough survivors like eliminated and absorb them, which is really, really cool. I like that.
The Raider has active and passive skills that make it a threat to survivors. Active skills can be activated at any time. There is a variety of useful skills, such as key detection, which allows one to see the aura of the survivors, and also other skills to efficiently defeat and fight with it.
Wait, so he's fighting? So those survivors are literally like they're throwing fireballs. Like, what am I missing here?
Passive skills are skills that are always active during the battle and have a continuous effect. There are various skills depending on the Raider, such as ways to accumulate the evolution gauge, and also actions that can be triggered at any time by specific controls. In addition, each Raider has special attacks for each transformation form. Among them, the ultimate special attack, which can be used in the final form, has an incredible power and attack range. Cell's perfect Kamehameha hits everything in a straight line, making it a move that can be used to great effect, especially in attacking the starter.
Bro, look at that AoE. See, this is why there's going to be an incentive for you to kind of like eliminate or like absorb for you to get to that final stage, I guess. To pull off a super move like that. That's insane. I'm liking that.
System. Each time a Raider evolves, it can destroy one area of the map. Once an area is destroyed, it disappears completely, and the range where survivors can move becomes narrower, making the action more tense in the latter half of the game.
I like that. That's a little twist to the Survivor game.
In addition, destroying an area will not demolish the power keys that have already been installed. But destroying an uninstalled area will reduce the total number of keys installed, which makes the time longer to switch on the startup system. With these various skills, you can gradually drive survivors into a corner.
Okay, now this is gonna get interesting because we obviously saw some like survivors flying around, throwing fireballs too. I'm wondering if they get power-ups as well.
Although the Raider is overwhelmingly powerful, survivors are not unarmed against this threat. Several countermeasures exist. Survivors can also use active and passive skills. For example, the skill Say in Pod Remote allows you to call up and board a pod that can land anywhere on the map. However, be careful because it takes a while to call out the pod, and also you will get damaged when the pod falls on your head. As another example,
That's hilarious. You already know some players are gonna, you already know some players are gonna get hit when calling that, and they're just gonna be like,
the skill Change can be used to deceive the Raider's eyes by changing into random objects on the map. However, you need to be careful as well, as it can sometimes turn into something completely unexpected. Unless you use these skills to your advantage, it will be difficult to escape the powerful Raider. Dragon Change is one of the few ways that survivors can use their power against the Raider. Survivors can equip up to 3 Transpheres, a sphere that contains the souls of super warriors. Dragon Change can be activated by collecting a certain amount of change power on.
this is what I was talking about. This is probably how you get powered up, and you can actually like go, maybe not toe to toe, but like actually, you know, fight the Raider
On the field, allowing you to fight with the power of a super warrior for a short time. However, the Raider's power is still overwhelming, so it is recommended to use it as a temporary countermeasure, or use other skills depending on the situation, such as escaping with the use of flying techniques. Transpheres can be set in a spot of level 1, 2, and 3. The higher the level, the stronger the skill will be, but on the other hand, more change power will be consumed.
Okay.
The form of the Raider that you can fight against is determined by the change level. When you fight, make your decision based on the power balance between you and the opponent. The timing of activating Dragon Change is very important. Whether you want to fight, flee, or go to rescue, use it strategically to get the most out of this ability. Various items can be used on the field, such as a weapon that can be shot directly at the Raider, vehicles that can move around the field quickly.
I kind of like where they're going with this because they're making the whole Survivor not just totally defensive like in Dead by Daylight and other games. Like you actually get to fight, which is pretty cool. I'm liking this. It just has like a lot of intricacies though that I'm noticing, which is cool.
And a radar that can search for the activation key. Utilize a variety of items and try escaping the battlefield. In addition, there are also Dragon Balls on the field. If you collect 7 Dragon Balls and offer them on the altar, Shenron will appear, awaiting to make your wish come true. Survivors can wish to increase the change level by 1 step for all survivors, or maximize their own change level to 4.
Oh, you already know there's gonna be some selfish players.
Raising to change level 4 can only be done by wishing to Shenron, and once you power up, your appearance and power will be exactly the same as the Super Warrior for a certain amount of time. The final form of the Raider is of course incredibly powerful, but increasing it to change level 4 will be the only way to counter with equal power. Summoning Shenron is not mandatory, but it will definitely contribute to the victory of the survivor. It is extremely difficult to collect 7 Dragon Balls in a limited time. But by cooperating with your teammates, you may be able to collect them faster. But careful, the Raider can also make a wish to Shinron. In this case, the Raider can only wish to either level up just one transformation form or to recover stamina. It is possible to sabotage each other until you get your wish, so don't give up your efforts until the end. In the game, it's possible to increase the chance of victory by cooperating with other survivors.
And that's where games like this are really tough. I don't know if you guys have ever played any or watched anybody. Like, if you're playing with randoms, man, that makes it super tough to kind of like rally up against like the villain or the raider or whatever the case is.
If you are attacked by the Raider, ask other survivors to come rescue you. If you are about to be defeated and until the countdown reaches 0, your companions can mend your wounds until you are fully healed. Don't forget to communicate. The signal feature is one of the communication tools to let other survivors inform each other about their actions, the location of the Raider, the location of items, and many other things. Make sure to use it efficiently with your companions. Lastly, the defense of the startup system is one of the biggest keys to cooperation. You can use Dragon Change, skills, items, or even directly operate the startup system yourself to shorten the time it takes to complete.
That's really cool. You see how there's one guy like distracting the raider while the other ones are working on it? That's gonna be key. Like if you don't have a way to kind of put the raider back like while you're working on this, because it looks like it's a huge charge up time. The raider can just come and just start blasting you, it looks like. So teamwork is going to be critical in this game. I'm wondering if they're going to implement some sort of like game chat. I know some games don't have that. They literally force you to work together in like a non-communication way just to make things different. I think Dead by Daylight. So this will be interesting.
You will have to defend the system by using all the countermeasures we have mentioned. Help your friends, cooperate with each other, and try to break out with as many survivors as possible. Raider versus Survivors. Experience the overwhelming power difference in strength and prepare to enjoy the ultimate asymmetrical battle action in Dragon Ball: The Breakers.
I'm still on the wall, guys. I don't know. Being a huge Dragon Ball fan, I'm probably just gonna get it just to get it. You guys know how I am with Dragon Ball. But I don't I kind of fear for this game and what the franchise is putting out as far as games. Let me know what you guys think of, the breakdown. I know the video is a little bit on the long side, but if you guys hung in there, let me know what you guys think of this game. You guys take it easy. Have a great Thanksgiving. Take care of yourselves. Peace out, y'all.